Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Welcome to Not Near Mint. I'm your host, Rob Worst. This is now the 39th episode of doing this show. I mean, can you believe it? It feels like it was last year, yesterday, but then again, because of what's been happening lately, last year seems oh so very far away. So let's say hi to some of the people that have arrived with us in the chat room. Let's see who we got here. All right, we have Superior Hero Reviews. Let's see if I can jump over here. Superior Hero Reviews, good to see you. Thank you for joining the chat room. We are going to be having New Comic Day start all over again next Wednesday, May the 20th. Also, we're having Join Us Superhero Reviews. There you are. Flashpoint Comics, Michael, always glad to have you in the chat room. Who else is with us? We have Life with Two's YouTubers, Sharon. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We also have anybody else here? Flashpoint, Life with Two YouTubers, myself, and anybody joining us, anybody replay viewers, thank you for coming. Meanwhile, let's say hi to the rest of our panel. Lady Fantastic, good afternoon.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. I am tired, I am ready, I am amped, and I had a lot of coffee before coming on today. How about you?
Oh, I did a little video earlier of the stuff that I picked up in the 50-cent bins today, and I'm excited.
Again today? On top of the ones you already went to get that you posted
Monday.
On today.
Yeah, so Monday I did that haul, but I put up another haul today. And I got a couple of good goodies in the mail, and also some 50-cent bins at because my LCS today was the first day they opened from the plague. Anyways, I don't want to take all your time. Let the other plebs talk.
What you got, but let's join the rest of our crew. One of which is Miracleman.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Sorry, I had the mute button on. I started talking, and then I saw the blinking, and I realized nobody was listening. But good evening. How you doing?
I've stated this before where I just start talking, and all of a sudden I just pop myself out of the chat. Around here, we just call that Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got a couple of books to show off today. I picked up a few today as well, lady. And excited to do our show.
Yeah,
I'm excited to start getting comics again. I want to see your comics. I'm going to live vicariously through you. I'm going to live vicariously through other people if they want to join the chat later on by jumping on the show. And like everybody else, I think we all have some I don't know, comics on the mind.
Flashpoint. Am I playing against you, Flashpoint?
That's a possibility.
Is there a challenge?
Maybe I am. Dude, if all you do is play Flash like comics, that's lame.
He was thinking about it. I told him there's been people that have played 50 books, and with 50 books, that one guy beat me because it was nothing but Golden Age.
DS, yeah.
And he has that. Yeah, DS can do that. I'm wondering if Flashpoint can.
Man, you know what? Accepted? Not against me, he can't. This is Contest of Champions, bitches. American Gladiators. I'll be shooting you with that. Remember the that shot out tennis balls and you tried to hit the people? I love that.
I love that
game. Favorite one.
I love that game.
I lived for a minute.
You know, the best episodes of Community are all the paintball ones.
Oh, the paintball and the hot lava episode.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was the episode where they lost Pierce.
Yeah. Oh, that was Troy. That's the last episode for Troy.
Yeah, Troy was leaving. Pierce was dead because the prior episode was the bottle episode that they're going to be reading on my birthday, which is next Monday.
Yeah, right on.
So on my birthday next week, one of my favorite shows of all time is Community. They're doing a live read of that bottle episode.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I don't know if y'all are watching it. They're doing a YouTube podcast with Ken Jeong and Joel McHale called The Darkest Timeline.
Yeah.
And I think they're on like episode 9 or 10 now. They're doing more episodes every week. They might even be on now. Don't start looking for it, everybody.
But yeah, they just did one where they had the whole gang back together. Not Chevy, not Pierce, obviously, because nobody really wants to talk to Chevy Chase. In case somebody wonders why, that's because
he's funny, but he's such a dick.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
he's a racist dick, but he's
Pierce is him.
Lovable because he's fallible. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just one of those things. Like, man, can you separate? Separating the person from the art, and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe he's a great comedian, but he just seems to be a prick.
He's that way in real life.
Right. No, that's him.
Wow.
That's him in real life. He's a dick.
That's hilarious.
But is he?
Abed, when you watch the Darkest Timeline on YouTube, you're basically seeing the characters as they are in real life, and the only person that's like not quite himself is Abed because he's Asperger's. I get that, but otherwise they're dead on just that. So it makes it easier to act when you're yourself. Just ask Jack Nicholson and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. Chevy Chase was definitely, I'm clearly not young, so Chevy Chase was definitely one of the big comedians when I was younger, and he's not that great, man. He's you watch him on Community, he's doing the same bits he was doing in SNL in 1979, man. Like it's not. It's not fresh or anything like that. It's the same humor.
I'll still always love him for being Clark Griswold.
Well, yeah.
Can't take that away from him.
Right. And think, what kind of career could he have had if he just wasn't a prick?
I know, man.
What's that?
Tim Vigil said in an interview on Kayfabe's channel, I think late last year, that people hire you if they like you. And for Tim Vigil's case, he said, people just don't like me.
Yeah. That's right. He did say that.
And that's kind of what happened to Chevy Chase. They're like, well, you're butting heads too much with Dan Harmon, so much to the point that they had to fire Harmon, thinking that he was really the problem. Really? Him?
No.
Him?
Yeah, especially after seeing, like, you could spend 5 minutes. I know Chevy Chase is a dick, and I've never done a show or movie with him. Yeah, Caddyshack was funny. Yeah, but that's 35 years ago. That's 40 years ago. That movie. Fucking 40 years old. Hi, Cat.
I see a tail.
Oh, Miss Kitty.
It's someone's happy.
She's just chilling.
Why is the Mint Comics up? Let's remove that from the screen.
Yeah.
Last episode, I'm getting everything queued up so we can start talking about this shortly. But real quick, did anybody wind up picking up any comics over the last week? I didn't, so let's just go around the room, starting with Lady Fantastic.
All right. I just want to show a few things that I got in the mail, and then just a couple of things I picked up today because I showed it all basically. But this came in the mail, the Batman Beyond 25, the foil. And yeah, I got this Captain America 115. This came in the mail. I've been wanting it, Cosmic Cube or Tesseract.
Very nice.
Whatever. Tomato. The Stan Lee I wanted to show meets Doctor Doom.
That's great.
Yeah, it's too cool, man. And I got this in the mail, Avengers 108. Just adding it to my collection. And then the last couple, This dude, the art. It's just a Paradise X special, Ragnarok #1.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's 1 of 2, and then here is 2 of 2.
Nice.
I know, it's just like so sexy. So yeah, I found some fun stuff. So anyways, one more thing. Come on, just because it's really badass Jim Lee art. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yes, nice.
Pretty raw, bro. Pretty raw. So, anyways, yeah, that's just some of the goodies that I picked up today or got in the mail. Anyways,
No more than what I got. What I got was something that I think other people really want, despite the fact it's not going to be on anybody's top 10 list. I got bags and boards.
I need those, but I need short boxes or long boxes more than those.
I need all of that.
And
Yeah, right before the show we were talking, and on Amazon, if you're trying to just get boards, there's people selling it there for like $30, $40 just for a pack of 100.
they
Yeah,
can kiss my ass.
Even the places like I would buy 1,000 a year. Right at the start of the year, every year I'd buy 1,000 bags and boards. They were like $92, $94 for 1,000. So
It's not bad.
right, 9 1/4 of 100, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. And no, you're looking like $1. I think the best price I'm finding them at is like $1.60, man. It's a big increase.
They are trying to get people, just like I was saying to other people the other day. It was like, because I know the price of meat is going up, and I'm like, glad I'm a vegetarian. I heard beef went up like $6 a pound.
It's up.
Yeah.
See, the beef makes sense because they're closing down stockyards. But
Yeah, that's what I heard.
they had a glut of pork. They couldn't process the pork fast enough. And they're actually going to have to start slaughtering hogs just to slaughter them because they can't get them. They can't get them into the stores fast enough. Yeah. So I mean that really sucks. Like if we eat meat, that's one thing, but now we're not even eating it. Now we're literally just throwing, breeding and killing these animals and tossing them in a hole.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
That's a great cover. Streets of Poison was a great run.
Yeah.
Cap on drugs.
Sorry.
Well,
Anyway.
did you wind up getting anything?
Yeah, I did. My shop is actually picking up. They've been doing the DC distribution, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. He's a DC guy. He's a Flash fan. So here I got Flash 753, and I got this weekend and last week. So there's a couple here. I got like 5 total here. There's Justice League 44. Metal Men #6, which is still a Didio written issue. Don't know how many more of those there are. Can't imagine the guy I'm still writing the rest of Metal Men. I got Green Lantern season 2 #3 there. If you haven't been reading Green Lantern, this issue the art was not ideal for me for what I've been enjoying about the series, but the art on this has been just incredible. The cosmic, Liam Sharp's hitting that cosmic look so well. Hawkman 23, another one of the Hawk's many incarnations there, and then I picked a couple up that were sitting on the shelves. There's your second print of Thor #3. I missed it when it came out, and there's your Thor #4 there. And then the dollar bins, I was so happy I stopped to look because I wasn't going to look because I was like, dollar bins, plastic. They've got the virus. Pulled an Adam Hughes cover for $1, man.
Oh wow!
I'm an Adam.
Goodness.
Right. I'm an Adam Hughes fan. I like the Star Wars Dark Horse years. You know, no brainer there. And then I found myself, they're readers, but a nice little run up to issue 75 of Weird War Tales.
Yeah, I read an issue, and it was pretty good. The stories, like, it's like an anthology of different stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was my favorite, like non-super title when I was a kid.
And it's like narrated by death, right? Or different incantations or
more or less. Yeah, more or less. It's a different incarnation of death in each one. It's always centered around war, either in the distant past all the way up to the far future.
Yeah.
These are actually space Nazis here.
Jeez.
Space Nazis. I love a good space Nazi.
How do you beat space Nazis, man? You know,
They just keep things organized.
Right. Space and Nazis, they go hand in hand.
They'll take over the moon, yeah.
I don't know what that accent was, but
a bad one.
Dude, I love Weird War Tales. I'm trying to put together a full run. Like I said, these are just readers, you know. But for $1 a piece, they were, you know, I'll toss them in there for placeholders. No grade, low grade better than no grade after all.
Very true.
So, but that's it. That's all I got. I have a real light week. I have a pretty awesome book on its way, though. I can't wait to share next week.
Ooh, can't wait to see it.
I'm looking forward to that.
I want to show. Did I show this? I didn't show this to the people.
Oh,
Yeah, so a good friend in the comic community got this for me and AOK'd it to me, but it's a Bill Sienkiewicz signature and original art, and oh my god,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's beautiful, dude. And the last one I want to show, I just love this one because it's super fun. It's Deadpool number 30, but he's rocking out with Dazzler.
Gorgeous.
It's Mark Gross. It's too cool, man. It's just very cool.
Very cool.
It's a great cover.
You know what? I forgot, Rob. I actually got one more book.
Oh, go right ahead.
This was the big book this week. I think I sent you guys pictures.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yes, that's the beauty.
Avengers 69. There's your first sneak peek of Squadron Sinister. I've had 70 for years. Remember, Rob, do you remember back in the day when nobody cared about the last page reveal?
Almost ever. And then all the people that can't afford it now want those things that they can afford, which is just slightly less because it's a last page reveal.
Right. You know, you used to be able to get the last page reveal books so much cheaper. Literally, it would be the same cost as a common issue in the run. Nobody cared. There was exceptions, you know, and probably your first one that really started with was Hulk 180, right? You know, I think that's the first one that started it to Ninja. So yeah, Squadron Sinister. Here's the cool part. That's Roy Thomas's autograph there.
Wow.
Hey-o.
Wow.
So
this is going to be a subject in which we will be discussing tonight.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I was super excited about that one. Next week, I got another book coming. It's also going to be autographed. I'm very excited to show everybody. Can't wait to get my hands on it, and I'll tell you all a little story about that one when I get it.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
One more person, and as we always say, and I love it when at 12:35 p.m. every single day, Discovery Bay Comics does his it's basically a YouTube show about TV Guide telling you what's going to be on for the day. And anytime Talks on the Mind is in the chat room, he has to stop everything because he has the best name. Because if you're here, you must have Comics on the Mind.
So I didn't pick up any books, but I did get an AOK, and I wonder who the AOK came from. Can you guys guess who it was from. So I appreciate this, brother. Just a little podcast, aka Cookie. Thank you so much. He gave me a little bit. He gave me some merch, and there's an awesome note in there. He even on the he wrote some stuff on the box, and I was like, oh, Avengers West Coast. I wonder why that's written on there. And then I open it up and I see this book, Avengers West Coast.
Wow.
From the West Coast. So I love this cover, not just because it's West Coast, it's Avengers. Well, I know them as West Coast Avengers, but they switched the name up. But this is a Force Works cover, like a Force Works team right here, and that's like one of my favorite teams because it has not Captain, it has U.S. Agent, who is more badass. So I appreciate this. I didn't have this one in my collection, so I'm trying to finish the whole run. And now here's another one for the run. So I appreciate you, Cookie. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got some more in here. Here's the big boy book right here. Dun, dun,
Nice.
dun. Love it. Didn't have it in my collection. Now I do. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And then here's some more West Coast Avengers goodness. Didn't have this one either.
Nice.
That's
a great run you can put together for a really not a lot of money, man.
Yep. You can get 11 for $1. Just ask Lady Fantastic.
Oh, another good one. Look at these covers. Lady stays getting the deals on the good stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look at that Spider Woman. So cool.
I always liked that Spider Woman.
Pew pew. What's up, Two Gun Pedro? I actually got
Two Gun Pedro. I'm gonna do a Discovery Bay and just stop everything just so I can go pew pew.
Well deserved.
And CFAP's in the house.
What up, CFAP?
Along with Joe, Pokon Joe Comic Review. Just to check in with the people in the chat room. Glad to see you and have you aboard. God Tank. Check out his artwork as soon as I start getting work. Really check out his Instagram, folks, because if you have not seen his remarked covers, Marvel, DC, Image, you are missing out picking this guy up. So take a look.
Yes, so good.
Dude, his Cosmic Ghost Rider, I want that shit.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a beast.
Oh yeah.
I have two more to show.
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. Some Acts of Vengeance, some more West Coast Avengers, or Avengers West Coast. Look at that homage cover right there. Fantastic Four homage cover. So that's pretty cool. And then the last one. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. So I don't have this one. I love those 25th anniversary covers. And
yeah. Hell yeah, bro. That's awesome.
This is beautiful, dude. Like, thank you so much, Cookie. Like, this just made my day.
That's the bomb, man. Good job. Yeah. Just a little podcast. Well played.
Thank you. And I'm putting the note. I'm turning my closet door into like all the AOK notes and just letters from the community that I got, including artwork. So, yeah, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, dude. That's all I got to show.
And that's why the comic community is so great, because whenever you want to know if you might be by yourself or alone, you have to just jump on Instagram, jump on YouTube. If someone drops a link in their chat, just hop on. People are very, very open and welcoming. Yeah. And with the AOKs, those letters that you throw into the packages, we wind up keeping those because it warms our heart that there's others out there that are like us that appreciate these books that we've been making since childhood for many of us. So yeah. I don't know about you. Do you think we should start getting into the topic?
Let's do it.
Uh-huh.
Well, let me go ahead and share the screen. Let's see. We have the DC Universe variants. And this is something that if y'all haven't been subbed up to Lady Fantastic, you should do so. Because her video earlier this week, I was watching that. She picked up some awesome books from the media store where many of them were DC Universe variants. And the thing about DC Universe variants, not every one of them is super rare. Many of them are between 10, 15 bucks or so, but then there's some that mostly around the end of all their runs wound up becoming super low print run because they wound up being sent out to these department stores where more often than not, they were not returnable. So if they weren't returned, they were just destroyed or given away. And most people, if they don't care about their comics, they're not going to be preserving them well. It'll wind up in a bin somewhere and forgotten about or largely destroyed. So over 500 individual issues, not all are rare. Often they're found in value packs starting in January of 1994, and they went several years. I cannot find when an end date is. Some DC Universe titles have not been confirmed to even exist. So others, there might only be one that's been discovered so far. So you can wind up discovering a lot of these titles in eBay lots, in dollar bins, garage sales, estate sales, flea markets, Let Go, and even Craigslist. Most people, they don't even know what they have. This wasn't a big deal until, and I can even post a link. We'll start discussing this in a minute here. But yeah, a lot of these weren't even talked about until about 2015, 2017, when people just needed something else to collect. And now that the books will be coming out next week, hopefully, you can start looking back again, rustling through, seeing maybe if you can find some of these, because there are complete lists out there, and I'll drop a link shortly. So here is the other part. There's one that's confirmed to exist so far. Some of these titles that are up here, The Adventures of Superman 521, Flash 100, and then there's ones that they haven't even confirmed whether they exist or not. If you wind up seeing it on eBay or Craigslist anywhere, snap that up because it's probably a one of a kind. So let's take a look at what Lady Fantastic has here.
Sorry, someone said that like they. So I was like, here, in your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place.
Hey.
Nice.
Ooh, Superboy.
Plus, it's the Worlds Collide issue. That's awesome.
Here's a did I show that already? I don't know. There's two Worlds Collide. Here's a Worlds Collide. This was the first one.
Oh, Hero, you're making me laugh.
And did you have any of the ones that are on the list that are up there on the screen?
No.
Damn. I don't either. It's okay. I mean, if I did, I'd probably be going, hey, look at this. But, you know.
I'll need to double check that because I did not have as thorough of a pull
Go
on
back.
to use.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Nah. Sorry. Well, the thing is that the final night that I have, it is 1996, which I think is pretty late, but I don't know.
It's considering when it started. Yeah, that's pretty late for things that were coming out that they just kept printing less and less and less until they went, this is just not cost effective anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody who I'm pretty sure might have some of these, the person right below Mindshift there, Flashpoint Comics, his grandfather gave him basically an entire store that was from the 90s. So there's probably a bunch of those out there in the back. But for you out there at home, if you have any of these in a bin, might as well pick them out, start look them up, see what you got. Does anybody else have anything that's remotely like this here? Anybody in the chat?
Hey, some of those beautiful Soups comics, Little Superman.
Yeah.
It was the Legionnaires cover, and that one people pay a lot of money for just because it has the Adam Hughes cover. But that one's a lot more plentiful than some of the ones that are in the later run. Because in later run, those are the ones no one cared about. They tossed them aside. DC Universe cover is a second print. Second prints are worthless.
Let Miracleman show his goodness.
I only pulled the one DCU, and it was the Legionnaires number 26 here. It was one. Which, you know, I grabbed it. First of all, this series, if you come across this Legionnaires, it's written by Payer. So that's somebody who knows superheroes probably as good as a Roy Thomas or Jerry Ordway, somebody who really gets the superheroes. And the whole Legionnaires run super fun. So I've been trying to put it together. Plus, there's some Hughes covers in there, so I've been trying to put those together. And I came across this one. I had a stack of Legionnaires, was trying to whittle the pile down, so I wasn't dropping $50 on Legionnaires. And I pulled this one out with it. And I know I've got a few more of them out there, but I'm going to have to really dig for those because I apologize. I didn't make a list of the DCUs. That's my bad. That's my bad on that one.
When I started doing all of this in CLZ back when the pandemic first started,
right.
I had a couple of them, but I wasn't thinking about putting that DCU variant in. It wasn't even because DC Universe is all over there. When I first started it, I'm not going, maybe I should go back and do that. I'll get to it eventually, and now we're starting to get back to work little by little.
All right, show some of your DC universes, Rob.
I did not. What you got? I would have to start rummaging through, and in the middle of the show, my job today was making all of these graphics.
Kurt, do you have any?
No, I don't have any. I was double checking to see if I did, but I don't. I doubt I have any of those.
All right. In that case, let's move on to the next one.
The Superman ones of those DCUs are actually really interesting. They're all right around that Death of Superman, Rebirth of Superman era. You're seeing real collectability on like third and fourth prints of those books. I think it's newsstand that you're seeing more often than not, right, Rob? That's what people are looking for.
Man, I saw a 75 Superman 75 with the flag.
Yeah.
And today in the 50-cent bin, but it was kind of beat up.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, you want to look for those third and fourth prints. I think Superman 77 has Superman flying away. That's the first DCU bullet. That was their experimental. It's the second print of that has the DCU bullet in it. So if you see the Superman 77 and it's got that DCU down in the corner, it's like I said, it's the flag. He's flying up into heaven. It's got the black border around it. If you see that one, that's the one you want to grab up. I've seen people slabbing those and selling them for $1.50.
Oh wow!
One of the most rare ones that you're going to find is that Man of Steel, the issue where it's one of the cameos of Doomsday. I can't remember. It was like 17 or 23, 24. I'm off on that one. I was reading so many things today trying to prepare for this show. But I'm also seeing here in the chat that Agu Ramos was not aware that Mind Shift, Comments on the Mind, was on this show. He has been on the show for a few months now. He is one of the best additions that we could have had around here. All right, so let's see what we got here next. So these we're just talking about at the onset of the show. These are signed comic books. Now, there's an argument between whether or not it's better to get them personally signed, whether or not you'd rather buy it with a certificate of authenticity, or if you're okay enough, just trusting the person that there's no COA and that the signature just is what it is. So we saw some remarks, we saw some signed covers, and just as you see down here, that prior to the speculator boom of the 90s, many of the creators would sign the first page. So I have a signed comic right here that's one of those that many of you that have been watching know about. My Superman number 7 from 1940, signed by Jerry Schuster. Joe Schuster on the very first page.
Oh, make yourself big and show it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So on this page right here, the very first page I have it signed by Joe Schuster. I did not get this personally signed. I wound up, there's a quick story to it. I wound up getting a copy of Love and Rockets number 1 because I'm known as the comic book court reporter. So he gave me Love and Rockets 1. I brought it up to the store, and the store went, "Oh my God, I love this. This is an ash can. The only way you could have gotten this is by living in San Francisco back at the time in '81. So he ran to the back of the shop, pulled out a stack of comics, and this was in there. And when I see signed by Joe Schuster, I'm like, that one. I don't even know anything about Love and Rockets. I know Superman. I have a long run of Superman. I want that. And the cool thing is looking at this little label that CGC, if I sent it to CGC, this is a beat to hell copy. But if I sent it to them, they will just say that there's writing on the cover, take 0.2 off, and this is a 0.5 at best, so I'd be getting a 0. Otherwise, you'd need a CGC witness who is a notary, like myself, but notaries are not allowed to get things done for themselves. So I would have to get somebody else to do it for me that's a notary. But yeah, personal signature prices have skyrocketed because CGC and convention exclusive contracts. And without those contracts in place, maybe things would be a little bit cheaper. And things we're thinking about now that cons might not be coming back the same way that we expected them to or hoped they would. Maybe those signatures go up. Maybe you can get them cheaper because maybe local cons or local shows might be much smaller, more intimate. Maybe those signatures might cost less. Things are a little too early at this point. What do y'all think?
Definitely.
Let's take a look at some of your books.
Well, I'd like to show one here real quick. I promise you, no matter what, that Superman might beat the one that I was going to show at the end here. I had one that I was like, oh, this is going to really do it. This is going to be the big one, and I'm going to still save it for the end. But I want to set the level here. Okay, you did great with that Superman 7, but I want to set the level of what I'm bringing to the table. Okay.
Okay, come on here, kid.
Here we go.
Thanks for letting me be on your show.
So you really can't see it, but this is an only double feature, which is the first appearance of Jay and Silent Bob in comics.
Nice.
And that's Kevin Smith's autograph right there.
No way. Holy shit.
Oh, I can kind of see it. Yeah, it's in black. Yeah.
Yeah. Bought it from the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash. I think like a year after it came out. They will sign anything. If you've never been to Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash in Red Bank, anything that Kevin works on or that Jay, has merchandised, they'll sign, they'll autograph, and they sell it at the same price. Remember when his Green Arrow run was huge, Rob?
Yeah.
Remember that, lady?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's huge. That run, the book was
He
high.
did Green Hornet, right?
What's that?
He did Green Hornet and he did Green Arrow.
Right. Yeah, and the Green Arrow.
Or Dynamite.
He did Green Hornet.
Yeah, Green Arrow, when he brought Green Arrow back from the dead. And when that book came out, it was huge. It was one of the hottest DC books there were. And they were selling that book cover price autographed by Kevin, every single copy they had. Like 8 months after it came out. So it was in the peak of heat season. So if you ever go down there, I think the show is very much set up. But if you ever go down there, Kevin Smith signs everything. You're not going to pay anymore. It's awesome. And you might see Jay stumbling around.
And you're saying that he'll sign anything that's his own, but considering that in his career he didn't smoke pot before Zach and Miri make a porno, and since then he did, and of course he's not making movies like Chasing Amy and Dogma anymore. He's making stuff more like Tusk, and that Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
It was good. I like that. You didn't like that?
I thought it was touching and sweet, but it could have used a lot of tightening up.
Oh yeah, it was them having fun with their friends.
Yeah, but it could have been really good. Like his daughter in that movie that plays Jason Mewes' daughter.
Yeah,
she was actually really good in that role.
Yeah.
Didn't Kevin Smith write Dogma?
Yes, he did. I think that's
I
probably one of the best works.
I loved George Carlin as like the priest or whatever. Yeah.
Boo Boo Kitty Fuck was looking rough in that reboot. I mean, she was looking pretty rough. I felt
we shouldn't talk poor about.
Sorry. Right. No, that's not Kevin Smith's wife. That's not Kevin Smith's wife. His wife was the redhead in James Silent Bob Go to Hollywood or whatever, which was Strike Back, whichever one it was. That was the redhead is the one who comes out with the big red ponytail, pigtails.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mine shifted. Let's see one of those signed covers that I think you're digging for. It looks like you're digging for something. I want to see what you're about to pull out.
I actually do have a DC Universe book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
And
nice.
I didn't realize that. So,
yeah.
I was at the flea market one time and I bought this Batman cover and it's actually signed.
Oh, very
right there. If anybody can guess whose signature that is.
Judd Winnick.
Yeah.
There you go.
On Road Rules. He was big buddies of Pedro Zamora, who died of AIDS, and since then made a whole career out of his comic career because he wrote My Life with Pedro that was, I think, nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. And then he went on to create The Red Hood for the most part. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty
cool. Let's see that Remark cover by Bill Sienkiewicz for people that might just be joining us.
Please.
So much.
One moment.
Gorgeous. Sienkiewicz, just man.
I love his Moon Knight is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, for the logo for the banner tonight, I did use one of his remarks because when I think Remark, I think Sienkiewicz.
Right. It's Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz. Why do I keep saying Sienkiewicz?
Because that's the way everybody said it before we got Twitter, and he spelled it out for us.
I only have one remark. I could have dug out my copy signed by Todd McFarlane in the crotch, but everyone knows what Todd McFarlane's signature looks like. I don't think it's. What you got there?
That was a Kong.
Oh, nice.
See it.
Is that signed?
Yes.
See who it says?
Is that Wrightson?
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
It says for Ed, Bernie Wrightson.
You know what?
Cool.
You know what? That makes me angry, lady. You want to know why that makes me angry?
Because I'm luckier than you.
Nah, I don't know about that. Because you know what, Rob? Why don't you show yours and then I'm going to show mine?
Oh, okay. I only have one thing and one thing only, and this is signed, of course, by the creator, Powell. Eric Powell, creator of The Goon.
Very cool.
And this is something that he just did a quick little doodle of at a convention because he was cool enough to do so. Back in the day, early 2000s, you could bring comics to most creators and they would sign it. Like I have J. Scott Campbell back in the day when he was working on Amazing Spider-Man, and he would sign 5, 6, 10 books. It got to the point where this one asshat brought a short box full of books, and he was talking in line the entire time of putting them back on sale. And this is when I really started to not like conventions at the time. And since then, I've just totally gone downhill trying to even attend a convention. It's those rising prices of signatures. And I would rather just have that one-on-one time than, hey, here's a signature buy. Here's a signature buy.
Yeah.
You might as well just buy it online. If you don't get that, hi, I really like your work. Hey, I'm glad that you pick up my book. That means a lot more to me than next.
Oh,
next.
yeah.
Might as well just pay for the COA.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So I got some fire I want to show.
Oh,
Y'all might like this one.
light it up.
Let's do it.
Is that for Zeta?
So no, this is a Sudan cover. Okay, now the cover's not autographed. Okay, this is the final issue of Epic Illustrated. I know many of us are familiar with Epic Illustrated, but just to show you some of the names that are on this
like
magazine.
all of them.
Right. So now, can you guess which? Now I'm going to tell you, I have 3 autographs in this magazine.
No way.
There are 3. Do you see those names?
Yeah.
I do. I see Sinkavich.
Okay. Let me show you number one.
One of them.
Let me show you all number 1. The first up, now this is not, this is probably not the signature that mattered the most to me. However, they were the co-creator on this little strip here. And first up, we got Rick Veitch.
Oh, nice.
Little project with Alan Moore. I think you all know how I feel about Alan. Next.
I think that out of rare signatures, that's probably the rarest signature that you're going to find more than probably even Bill Finger, because he just doesn't sign comics.
Doesn't. He did in the 80s, but nothing in the last, 40 or so years. Next, you see, first of all, that beautiful page. Look at that. Down go the books. You see that beautiful page. The autograph right here.
Awesome.
Al Williamson. Now, Williamson, this wasn't written to me. He did it to somebody whoever owned this magazine originally. He gave him a nice little personalized autograph. To Rich, with warmest good wishes always. So it sounds like maybe he knew that person. Maybe, I don't know. And then here's the last one, and this is the one that I was real excited about having. Bernie Wrightson.
Ooh.
So now, lady, I got to say, you really showed me up here. You really. I knew I should have just showed right from the beginning. But listen, if you guys have never seen the Epic Illustrated magazines, if you come across them, they're awesome, man. There's stuff in there that you will literally never see reprinted anywhere ever again. The last Galactus story was never finished, but that's in here by John Byrne. And I think this is like part 6 of 9, and 7, 8, and 9 were never done. So you'll never get an end to it. But every single issue has titans of the industry in it. I did not know that, Ed. And I highly recommend picking them up. If they're usually a few dollars, or not cheap, but they're worth the read every time.
Nope.
So.
And just to throw out a couple more signed things that were right behind me. This one is a little bit less rare than the other one I'm going to show. This I got back in 1992. I didn't have any money that could afford a Green Lantern from the 1940s or 50s. So they had these little bookmarks that they gave out, and here's the signature of Martin Odell, creator of Green Lantern, one of my favorite DC characters.
Phenomenal.
So this, I can't even, the comic book, but I have it. I kept it in nice condition, but I was dumb enough as a kid going, well, I'll just fold over the top and put it in a regular bag and board because I'm a dumb kid. What did I know? At least I didn't cut it off. Now, here's another one where people have paid dumb prices for this guy. I love Stan Lee, but there are a ton of signatures out there with his signature on it. There's even been a point where they tried printing copies of his signature with his blood that I think one of his conservators wound up doing, where they're saying, oh, no, it's above board. We wanted to make sure that we could have his signature in perpetuity. This is one of those things, me as a court reporter, whenever I see a legal document in perpetuity, ding, 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 red lights, as a red flag going off. That means until death. After perpetuity means after you're dead. So I don't know if he knew what was going on when they said, let's take his blood and just keep making signatures. So unless you have a COA, you don't even know anymore whether or not it's a real copy that's signed, unless it was your own copy or it has a COA, which COAs, I can print one on my printer and make a raised seal. So personally, if it wasn't signed, it doesn't mean as much to me, but some of these older creators, like when I'm blowing this up over here, Jack Kirby, I'm never going to get something signed in my lifetime by Joe Kirby because he's no longer with us. So I would love to have a signature by Kirby. I would love to have one by Bernie Wrightson. In my lifetime, I'd like to have a signature by Bill Sienkiewicz. I'm just going to throw Brian from Take the Time Collectible down here. That is the proper pronunciation. So if anybody has any other signed things to show or anything that's rare, now's the time.
I have one last one. I have this second print variant of Avengers versus X-Men Zero, signed by Jason Aaron.
Oh, a Jason Aaron signature. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So lucky.
Yeah, I really like it. So I found this in at the comic shop price, regular price, for like $4.25. So same thing for that Kong. This thing, it was like, $4.99 or something.
Person probably didn't even know.
Yeah, I don't know how. It was a comic shop, so they're lost. Whatever, dude. I've got no more signatures.
I dropped out of the chat.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, let's take a look at Mindshift.
Oh, Scotty Young.
Nice.
I love Scotty Young. I haven't had him sign something in person, but I bought this that was signed from him. So
That's cool, man.
One of my favorite artists.
Now we're kind of at the point where we're just going to have to be willing to buy signed books as they're signed.
Yeah.
And we have here Eduardo asking, I wonder, can you send in comics to creators to be signed, or is that considered poor etiquette? I actually don't know. I don't either. The person that would be best to ask might be somebody like Take the Time Collectibles. He has a wide assortment of personal drawings. He has pages of art, covers. That guy has like anything that you can imagine. He's got it. He has a shop down here in Florida called Phil's Comic Shop, located in Broward County, Florida. Otherwise, he's Take the Time Collectibles on IG. Shoot him a DM. He would probably be able to answer that. So let's go to the next one.
Hey, I got one more I want to show.
Oh.
I got one more.
Okay, before that, here we go.
Actually, I'm sorry, I lied. I got two more. First is my Beavis and Butthead #1. Both a remark and an autograph from Rick Parker.
Love the blood.
That's awesome.
He did that one probably on a few hundred covers that day. That was right after the book came out. Second issue was out too, and he gave me the Rico the Sicko autograph. He used to do the Marvel bullpen. I don't know if you knew that, but he did the Marvel bullpen for years. So he did those cartoons and those for years. And then this is my probably best pickup out of the bin. Had no idea.
Oh.
Bought that book for $2. Okay. That's cheap for a Warlord #1. Now, it was about 20 years ago, but that's still cheap. Flip it open, and what's on the inside? Mike Grell's autograph, baby.
Wow.
Gorgeous book. I mean, the black is real sharp on it. And like I said, I found it. It was in a junk shop. It was a Remander junk shop. He had like 5 or 6 different stands there that were all owned by different people. And that was his. And he had this nice little short box, dug through it, pulled a bunch of books out. That was the most expensive one. and nice grab for $2.
I'd say.
Right. So
Now,
there you
here's
go.
a new one to jump to. Mark Jeweler Variants. This is something that has really blown up in the last several years. I was vaguely aware of this back in the 90s, growing up, reading comics, collecting comics, but not really spending more than 10, 20, definitely not more than 100 on a comic.
Right.
But so what's a Mark Jewelers insert? And I'm going to read this because we do have people that wind up just listening to this on playback instead of watching, which is fine by me. So what is a Mark Jewelers insert? It is a cardstock insert, mostly from 1972 through 1986. And they were primarily distributed near military bases, both within the United States and externally. All of the Mark Jewelers, no matter what, are a newsstand. And Mark Jewelers were one of many inserts in the time period. There were like Atari, there was just jewelry, there was several different types. So Mark Jewelers isn't exclusive to the inserts of the time period. So comics with cardboard inserts are usually heavier, they're a bit more rigid. And just like the picture seen right next to that Mark Jeweler example, you can see at the very top, very bluish, dark blue cardstock right in the middle. So if you're trying to look for these just by looking at the tops of books, that's probably going to be your best way. Otherwise, if you live near a military base, maybe hit up a comic shop near there. Hit up the local flea market. Or in the case of Miracleman over here, go to the pawn shop. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The one I was only able to locate a single Mark Jewelers book, and it wasn't from the pawn shop. So you can't say it wasn't. I don't just get them from there, is what I'm saying. But I actually have one that it might be super rare because it's not just a Mark Jewelers; it's also a sub. It's got the sub crease right down the middle. I don't know if you can see it.
This is a beautiful cover.
Got it.
It's a good copy, but you can see it's got the sub crease right down the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is the cardboard insert Mark Jewelers. So, just like you said, Rob, the vast majority of these were at the newsstand, and they weren't sent out as subs, but this one is a subscription copy that was actually sent out with the sub crease right down the middle there. You can see it real easy, but it had that Mark Jewelers insert in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for people at home watching, if you're wondering if you see a subscription crease on a comic book that's especially newsstand, and you're wondering, well, it's damaged, I'm going to wind up not sending it into CGC. They actually do not take off anymore for subscription creases, which I don't send anything to CGC, as you see behind me, but it's cool knowing that from those people that do send it to CGC. And I'm going to read something by Take the Time Collectibles since we got the question earlier. And the question was, I'll read that again. Where'd it go? There it is. Can you send comics to creators to be signed, or is that considered poor etiquette? So he was answered by Brian at Take the Time Collectibles. It was a lot easier to do so back in the 1970s and 80s. And now writers and artists have a reputation and contract, a rep and a contract, and don't sign for free. There are exceptions. So because of social media, there's no harm in asking. And it's pretty easy to reach out to the creators, and he would suggest inquiring directly. Worst they can say is no, and if you don't ask, you'll never get it.
Very true.
Absolutely.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Always ask; it doesn't hurt. So
Wait.
let's see. Who else?
Miracleman.
I know that Mindy Fantastic, more than anybody here, I remember watching during one of her auctions that she had a first appearance of Black Mask. The book that I lost because I played it at Comic Corys on Monday. That win some, lose some. When I have a damn Hulk, what do you call it? Batman 181 behind me that would have blown out of the water. But that's here nor there. She pulled out a first appearance of Black Mask in Batman. He's like, okay, does anybody want it? Like, it's $10. There's some tepid response, and then somebody asks, hey, can we take a look at that book just to see the condition? She takes it out of the bag, and what happens?
Oh, it's a Mark Jewelers.
And
Nice.
the chat room went nuts for that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I ended up getting like 60 something for it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that was right before the movie came out, too.
So I don't think that these are all that I have, but I'm just going to show you these for now, just because I haven't gone through. And I'm surprised, Miracleman, that you have 22,000 comics and you have one Mark's Jeweler.
You know what? I never marked them down before. It wasn't until just recently that I started adding them in there. So when I started to look, I pulled. There's a couple of really good lists out there. If you're looking for the Mark Jeweler inserts, they've been tracking down the issues over the years. There's some of them. I also do the Atari inserts, which are pretty cool. I do have several of the Mask Underoos inserts, which I'm sparing you all from. But I never really looked for them before, so I actually have to go through my collection and really dig for them in order to find them.
Yeah, and not all of them are going to be very easy to see because you're not going to see it just looking, even if I blow myself up here.
Right.
This is the one that I have pulled, and I usually have this right behind me. This is the, this isn't the one, is it? Unless I put it away, I am that dumb to do that. It was the Thor issue that I got from Take the Time Collectibles, and I do think I put it away. It was a Cap issue.
The Thor 390.
The Mark Jeweler that was in. I'm gonna just pop myself off. I thought I had the book. Now I feel like an idiot. But yeah, you can usually wind up telling just by right in here, and it was the time that Cap swung Mjolnir. And I got that into collectibles, and it's one of only two copies of Mark Jewelers that I actually have. But he says that from Dave Enrique, Mark Jewelers usually have a purple star stamp on the front upper left-hand corner. Not sure how this is done.
So that is not always the case. Sometimes they have that stamp, and sometimes they don't. But I think maybe it was associated with just like military base inventory that was just marking it that it come in the shop, but I'm not sure exactly. So here's some that I have. This is World's Finest Comics 318, Superman and Batman. It's 85, and it's a Mark Jewelers. I just found that the other day at the media store. And then I've got an X-Men 197. We've got Doom on there. And Dr. Doom. And let's see what we have in here. Is it a Mark Jewelers? Yep, it's a Mark Jewelers. So, got that. Yep. This is the one, bro, that's just like a killer. I was just like, wow. X-Men 164.
Oh, no way. First binary? That's awesome.
First binary.
Shit.
Wow. Yeah. And then
Never getting rid of that one.
Yeah. And then the one that the only one I have that has the example of the star that I'm aware of, and you'll see the star in the pink. And it's very horrible. Can you see it? It's right next to Beast's head.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
It's very faint, right next to Beast's head. But that's the only one where I can find the stamp. And so this is another badass one to have too.
Great cover. Who did the cover for that?
Oh God, let me look real quick. Because he did a few here.
Yeah, I have one of those new Defender covers. They look just like that, but it's like a blue background. I love the art.
Captain Comics says Diamond Jewelry inserts started from 1971 to 1973. He has one.
I'll get to you. I'll look it up.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, I don't have any Mark Jewelers.
It says that Mike Zeck is the guest penciler in this issue.
Oh, nice.
Captain has 9 Mark Jeweler and 1 Diamond insert. Doom.
I haven't had the chance. Like, I just haven't gone over my. I was too lazy to. I just went to some ones that I knew that I have. I think I may have a couple more, but I just forget.
And after Comic Gories on Monday, I wound up putting back a bunch of books so that way I could have a little bit more room. And I think I should probably take down a few more so that way it doesn't look as cluttered back there.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next one on the list, unless anybody has any more Mark Jewelers to show. All right. Next, we got 35-cent variants. Now, what is a 35-cent Marvel variant? From June of 1977 all the way to October of 77, a 5-cent increase was tested in 5 U.S. cities: Alabama, in Tuscaloosa, in North Carolina, in Wilmington, in Toledo, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, wink, wink, nod, nod, Lady Fantastic, and San Antonio, Texas. The most expensive of which are Star Wars #1, the 35-cent edition, because, oh my God, that is a $1,000 plus book. The Iron Fist 14 for Sabretooth, that increases the value by tenfold. And then there's the Captain America 212 that has a yellow bar across the top that should have a Marvel logo in there, and instead it is just blank. Marvel did try this price rollout once before in 1976 from April to August with the 30-cent variant, of which the Eternals #1 has seen the most gains of late. So let's see. Anybody here got any of those?
I don't.
I don't
wish.
This.
Jesus, this is the worst show ever, man. I don't think any of us got these.
Well, I have some.
None of us have most of these because they live in a certain part of the country where, that was where it came in. Otherwise, if you were living in the wrong part of the country, that is super rare to you. But if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, and you were on a military base, almost every single issue that was coming out during that time was almost exclusively Mark Jeweler variants or exclusively 35-cent variants. Instead of going, hey, wow, something unique, you were going, I have to pay 5 cents more for this crap. I have this, the regular edition of Iron Fist #14, first appearance of Sabretooth. Now, when you look at the upper corner here for 30 cents, and you notice the 35-cent in the variant that has maybe about 5 to 10% of the regular run, it doesn't look that much different. The only difference is just that little 5-cent increase. That's it.
I think I have some 35-cent ones, but I don't think that they're variants.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting links inside of the bio at the very end of the show. But overall, there is a very long list. Not all of them are super expensive. The difference would be like for some of those X-Men right around issues 110, 114 or so. Those ones, instead of being $60 or $80, people are paying $115. It's kind of like the DC Universe variant. Instead of being $3, it's $15. It's just a few bucks more. It's when it's a key that those 35-cent variants or the 30-cent variants, that's when those are the more expensive ones. So, Miracleman, you got any 35 centers or 30-cent variants that you're aware of?
Is he on mute? Miracleman, are you on mute?
Don't mute us.
Hello.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Maybe he stepped away for a second.
Sometimes when you do a show and welcome to hour #2 of Not Near Mint, you need to go take a pee break.
Oh, maybe that's what's happening.
That's probably. So if we're going to do that, let's jump to the next one here because we might be able to do a pretty short show tonight. Next one, the Whitman variants. Now, Whitman variants in 1979, Whitman, it's not so much that it was a variant, it was a publishing company that mostly distributed Gold Key comics. The Solar, Man of the Atom, Turok, and this was before Valiant. We're talking 1960s. They've been around Western Publishing House since 1915. They have been around forever. So in 79, they got sold out to Mattel. And then by 1980, Mattel just wanted to get this crap out of the door. So they were mostly putting out Disney books, with the exception of a few books that were put out by DC Comics. The rarest of all the Whitman books is DC Comics Presents issue number 22. That is on the screen right there to your right. And people have been known to pay upwards of $2,000 or more for that book in higher condition.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you can find this in beat the hell up condition, think of finding a 35-cent variant to Star Wars #1. You recognize the cover of Star Wars #1. No one recognizes the cover of that. It's just a random ass cover. But now that you recognize that cover, should you see that Whitman in the upper right-hand indicia, you now know if you find that in a $1 box, yes, I think I will.
The jackpot.
I do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I remember when those Whitmans, it wasn't that long ago that Whitman in general, people just avoided. People wouldn't buy them. You know, you people put them up on eBay, you'd be getting, you know, these copper bronze age DC books, and they say they were the Whitmans, and you avoided them like they were reprints, man. Nobody wanted to touch them. So definitely one of the reasons why they're more popular now is because they spent so many decades with people just not wanting to pick them up.
Oh, here's one from Steven Spock. I don't know about this, so maybe Miracleman could field this question. What about the DC questionnaire inserts?
I don't know if I know about that one.
We're all geniuses here. We all have our knowledge from our section of the country. I'm down here in Miami. We have Lady Fantastic that's coming out of Tennessee. We have Comics on the Mind coming out from California, and Miracleman up in New York. So we have all the corners of the country pretty much covered. But like anything else, we learn things sometimes as you do.
Actually, I just looked it up real quick. I remember seeing these, but I didn't even know that this was a variant that people kept their eyes out for. I got to say that this one's new by me in that regards. But what it was an insert in DC Comics books, DC Comics from, looks like, I want to say March, April 78. So you're looking at Action Comics, Adventure, Super Team Family, Detective. It looks like pretty much the whole line. Black Lightning number 8, which is the only oddball looking one in there. The rest are very, very common. Superman, Sergeant Rock, Super Friends, Weird War Tales, all those kinds of books. And there was 2 different inserts done, it looks like here. One of them was just a little 2-page postcard size, and the other one was a almost full size. It looks like a 7/8 size page. I'm going to show you. This is not going to work. This is not going to work well, but I'm going to show you. So there's the second one right there.
Okay, so that's a questionnaire that's inside a DC universe, or inside of a DC title.
Yeah. And like I said, it looks like they did 2 of them. I'm not finding if it's a specific area. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a specific area. They call it a Walden Books insert because the survey variant, several of the questions in the survey pertain specifically to Walden Books. You would get a free #1 edition of Crisis on Captive Earth, which was never released.
Interesting.
Photos on IG.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
North Garden Comics, yeah, the Marvel versions of the Whitman Variants just had the blank, like, instead of a barcode or like a logo, it was just white. And that was the way that the Whitman Variants were on the Marvels.
So essentially, if you wind up seeing some kind of Whitman variant, just probably not a altogether awful idea to pick it up, especially if it's only like a couple bucks. You never know what you might find.
I'm getting one in the mail soon. It's a Batman one, but I couldn't see what number it was, but it's got the Riddler on the cover. It looks really cool. It's coming from that Black Panther lot that I'm.
Yeah, North Garden saying blank UPC, right?
Yeah, exactly. What you said.
And welcome, Fuchsia. Welcome, Comics Musings. Anybody's first time watching, we do this every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern time, every single Wednesday, whether there's new comics or not. Oh, here we go. Miracleman.
Oh.
Whitman son.
It just got real.
There's your Whitman variant for a Marvel. I totally forgot I had this. Star Wars #8, she's definitely a little bit, blank UPC. No Marvel, Indicia, nothing. But this one here, I think these actually came in. It doesn't say anything inside at the bottom there. Still looks like the same info. But I think these actually came in multi-packs.
They did.
Right? They were like 3-packs.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. After 1980, that's when they just went, okay, we got to push this stuff out the door. It's the only way we're going to make money. And it wasn't high print run.
On eBay, they still have like sealed Whitman packs that you can buy.
Yeah.
But
I remember.
Right, let's get to this one right here where it says Black Hole, that issue number 4. No one can find that. That is like a ghost. If you can find that, people pay hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, I mean it's a Disney book, so there are Disney collectors. I know there's not a lot of them out there, but there are people who collect those books. And it's the live action movie, and it's a Whitman variant. I mean, and I think 4 is the last issue, isn't it? A Black Hole.
There was only a 4-issue miniseries.
Right. So, that one's going to be. I've seen lists of these. I actually have a picture saved in my phone, so I can, if I run into any of these, I can grab them up.
Prepared.
Black Hole is the only one, hands down guarantee, the only one I could pick out of a lineup. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, any of those others there, if I see Whitman on it, I'll pick it up if it's $1. Otherwise, I would not know it to look at it.
Right.
So let's go to the next one. Printing errors. I think this is the last. No, yeah, that's the last one. So what's a printing error? It's mistakes in color or type, often seen on the cover, but it's also possible within the comic. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about it was Captain America, where they said created by Simon, or no, instead of citing Joe Simon, they said created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Right.
And it wasn't recalled. It was just that every single issue was printed that way. It's a printing error, but it's not unique to only a segment of what was printed. Now, when it comes to stuff like the Bloodshot that you're seeing over there on the right side there, foil covers, gold ink, and novelty covers are usually the most common errors. When it comes to those gold covers, that gold ink from the 90s, they would try putting out a test run first. So they might only print out 2, 5, 10, maybe 50, and they'd either pulp it or give it away, or they would just disappear. So that's how you get maybe 50 or 100 of some of them, like the Solar Man of the Atom. But the rarest of all of the misprints has to be the Lethal Protector of Venom, the first series, White Variant. There's only one that's known to exist. The reason for this is it's based off of the variant gold foil, which was very, very rare and exclusive to stores. So imagine a very low print of an exclusive getting a misprint, and that's why there's only one. People pay thousands of dollars for this because that's all there is. The black misprint, while it's very, very low print, there's at least 500 of them out there because it was based off of the red foil variant that was just the regular one that was shipped out everywhere. So let's see. Anybody have any misprints or printing errors like I'm sure we all have some examples here. I don't have anything pulled, but I know there's the Galactus with the white helmet.
Yeah, I didn't pull anything, but I mean, I've got some, nothing super expensive or anything. But like, are you talking about the Secret Wars issue?
Yeah, that Secret Wars issue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't have any.
White helmet.
I don't think I have any print errors, but I have a couple production errors.
No.
Yeah, where it's like shitty or miscut.
Well, no, actually, where there are 2 covers.
There we go.
Oh shit!
Damn.
That would be considered a printing error.
That'll do it.
And the best part is it's marked. See the red mark?
Yeah.
It's marked in there too.
So it's like, what? Why is this fucked up?
So basically what happens is these are printed through a process called saddle stitching. And your book, it rests on a line, and it goes down the line like this. And they drop the cover on top of it, boom, boom, hit it with 2 staples, drop it down at the end, and it lays out. So this one just had 2. When it pulled the cover through, it just happened to have 2 of them and stick it on there. Now, out of my entire collection, I have almost 22,000 comics. That, up until very recently, was the only double cover book I had. Then, about 5-6 months ago, I went on a dig with my local crew here, and we went to one of our comic shops, one of our junk shops that we like to use, and then I found this right here. Conan number 33, early Red Sonja appearance. Okay. I grabbed it specifically for that and because it was a nice looking cover. And then lo and behold, it's another double cover.
Oh, no way.
Another double cover. Look at that.
And they're the exact same cover. It's not like there's any variation.
Nope. Same cover, no difference. But these are really rare. There was a time, I want to say, maybe very late 90s when people were talking about double covers becoming, these are going to be the new rage. This is going to be, misprints. Forget that. This is going to be what everybody wants. They are rare because they're typically caught in production and tossed in a scrap bin. But, they miss them sometimes. So they aren't very common. I have never once seen anybody sell a double cover calling out that it was a double cover.
Right. I have on eBay.
Yeah, that's the only place. No shop ever has.
Right.
Oh, yeah, 22,000.
I've never seen that in a shop ever.
Yeah, never in a shop.
Never, ever, ever.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll pull up a screen in a minute here, but there's something on eBay that has been up for at least the last year, maybe 2. It's a cover by DC, and it has a Marvel book inside, like a Marvel team up to DC.
Teen Titans.
You would know what it is. Go ahead.
Teen Titans. Yeah, it's a new Teen Titans. I forget the issue with a Marvel team up. Here's the thing, though. If you take that number and you go to the CGC website and you go onto the message boards, they are tearing that book apart. I mean, I don't know how legit that book actually is.
What do you mean by tearing it apart?
They hit it.
So they're saying that they don't think it's real. They think it's staged. They think the guy did it himself. Do you really take the time? That's crazy, man. I don't even know enough double covers out there to keep buying comics.
Man, it's hard, dude. That's like a really tough treasure hunt.
Right. I would buy every
more than anything else. And you can ask somebody like, I think it's Steven Spock that Lady Fantastic winds up helping out for, the person that wants the reflection covers. I'm guessing that you wind up becoming a collector so much to the point that you have most everything you want, and all that's left are like super expensive books, you start getting a little niche. You start going, well, what else can I collect? Double covers, that's one. The 35-cent variants, the Whitman cover. People wind up needing to have something to collect until that next big score, and I couldn't find a better way other than a double cover. It's a good idea.
Steven Spock told me, he's like, all right, for 2020, I'm only collecting reflection covers.
That's cool.
So that's all I've been like hunting for him. So it's been fun, man. I start getting the addictions of everybody around me, and I'm like, oh, what do I need to look for this person and this person, and like DC variants for him, or logo variants, and reflection collection, all this jazz.
Yeah, I'm all about now the DC Universe variants ever since I heard about them a couple of years ago, because I don't find them very often, and I don't have many places where I can dig for quarter bins or dollar bins. We have $5 bins. That's where things start.
I'm in the land of milk and honey.
I'm in the land
of rural areas to do that. If you're in a big city, we can't find those.
I'm a big city-ish.
I'm a tertiary city, but I just happen to have a lot of shops in the area.
I know your city commissioners. I go to your city commission meetings. I have to do court reporting for them. Our city's screwed.
Chad, no. I mean, maybe you're being facetious, but like, literally a reflection, like a picture or something, and they can see. So there's been ones where there's bad guys, and they've got their helmet or a shield on, and you can see like the bad guy or the good guy getting ready to punch them from the reflection. Exactly.
The perfect cover for reflection. So
yes, I want to give it
for things like this. Reflections in surfaces. So that's just another thing to collect. It's not that it's rare. It's just some people need to focus on something because that's just their thing. That's the way you like to collect.
Yeah. The dude wants fucking sorry.
I've been low-key collecting bondage covers for the last 2 years. So I totally got it.
There you have it. I like purple covers.
Purple, there you go. There's another one. I got one here that it's not so much a misprint as it is a book to keep your eyes out for, because they had to pulp it, and change the cover.
Oh,
this one was real well known a few years back. It's been a good 12 years now. If you've never read the Jeff Johns Gary Frank Action Comics run, I'm telling you, you missed out on some of the best. Cover. It's the beer cover. Some of the best Superman covers. Action Comics number 869, right here. So this one's a little more well known.
And it's also one of the most well-written in that run.
Oh, absolutely.
He kills Paul Kent. Sorry, spoiler alert.
It happened 12 years ago, and he's alive again. So you see right there, it says Soda Pop very, very prominently on these two bottles of beverage. Here's the story. Initially, the image was beer. It was a beer bottle. It was like and it was a stylized beer bottle, so it wasn't just didn't just say beer. It looked like a brand. And a couple thousand copies got printed, and they went, no, not beer. This is Superman. It's got to be, and I believe the brand in their comic universe is Soda Cola. As you see, it does not
Soda Cola.
Soda Cola.
Soda Cola, please.
And wasn't this around the same time that George W. Bush was president, where we were all talking about, we want to elect somebody that we want to have a beer with? What's more American than having a beer with your president? What's more American than having a beer with Superman?
He's a recovering alcoholic, George Bush is.
This was the first year. This was the first year of Obama's term. So
there you go.
So it was very shortly after. But you kind of, if you think about it, Pa Kent's kind of drawn like an older, nicer, less war crimey George W. Bush. If you think about it, kind of a little bit, right? Maybe his dad. I don't know.
Maybe his dad, yeah.
Maybe his dad. A little less war crimey, a little more, down homey.
And now we have North Garden Comics saying a couple years ago, read about people collecting books from a particular original collector because he had written his name on his books. The guy people were looking for them. Now, what I'm aware of is that back in 1940s, early 40s during the war in Japan, you had this little girl that was collecting comic books, and she would sign her name on the front on the interior page, and that wound up becoming a very prestigious collection. Now, when it comes to certain people doing stuff like this, is if you kept it in really nice condition, or there was a way that technique. That I could understand. Now, if you were, I can pull this one here after I see it. Now, if you were the type of person that would do this to a comic book, first of all, and what the hell?
There's Doug's writing. Where's that actual Doug?
This is not Doug copy, but it's Batgirl. This is not that kind of book.
I think you should put it on your green thing.
Go ahead.
I think you should put it on your green thing. And can you switch your cameras?
That would take some work at the moment.
Never mind. Fuck it. Sorry.
So here's my 357 first Batgirl with a Doug pedigree. It's not in the greatest condition. No one would ever want to pay more for this. But there are people that did do that kind of stuff that would pencil in their name. And I could definitely see people keeping a 9.8 book with their damn name in it. I could see somebody keeping something in a 9.8 and cutting out the Marvel value stamp. Because back in the day, people would just go, well, as long as it looks nice, it's fine. It's not until grading came along to say, yeah, but...
Right.
You're missing some pieces.
There's people who collect Golden Age and nice, Steven Spock. Who collect Golden Age books that have doodles on them. I am actually reminded of one that I'm not going to say their name, but it's somebody that everybody out here who is on Twitter and digs comics probably knows. But they posted one, and I believe it was a war comic, and the whole cover had been drawn on. The kid had just done little doodles all over the place. And the way the cover was designed, you could it had little boxes, and I forget what it was. It might have been like a wall, so in each little brick they drew or wrote something. And he posted the cover, and I saw something in the corner as soon as I looked, because I follow this person. I check out the comics they post every day, and there was something on the cover that was not something you'd want to post anywhere. Alex on the mind looks like he has an idea. And I think I do. It was the teensiest little swastika and down in the corner of the cover. Oh my God. That the kid had drawn in very, very clearly. Very clearly. Oh wow! No kidding. That's crazy.
I will be in the shop as soon as I can. It'll probably be a weekend or next week.
But that there's people who collect those. But he posted that one, and I was like, "Hey, you saw that, right?" And he pulled it right away. So, very, very nice, very nice. So
that pretty much has everything that we wanted to go through with, at least today. Oh, hold on, let's see this.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
value stamps. This is Iron Fist. It's hard to read, but it really is. And then
some of those ones that are keys, like the Marvel, the first appearance of
that was Hulk 177 with Warlock.
Yep, have the Marvel value stamp.
Yeah, and then here's another one. This one is Avengers 125.
Ooh.
Marvel.
So that's what
Marvel Girl Song 69, baby.
You had said earlier, Rob, about high grade, keeping a book high grade. There's one that's pretty high grade, right?
Oh.
Supernatural Thriller number 9.
Oh, that's
Pretty book, right?
pretty,
nice.
pretty book.
I got this
I hear a
book.
big old hairy butt coming.
I got this book for 50 cents because there's your value stamp right there.
Son of a gun.
God damn it.
I mean, at least it doesn't affect the story. You know,
That's true.
but, here's just a case of the book's 1974. It's not that old, but it's a really nice looking copy, pretty sharp otherwise. And, value stamp snipped right on out of there.
Getting a comic book, thinking that you're paying a good price for it and you're taking it home, you filled in a hole in your run, you get it home, you open it up only to see that it's been mutilated like that. It's like going to Subway's and ordering the sandwich that you've been looking forward to all day. You get home, you start eating it, and then as you take that nice big old bite, you notice there's a missing finger in there.
Shit.
It happens.
That's how it feels. That was also speaking from
Yum, eat 'em up.
Yeah, so next week I'm gonna be going through here and seeing what I can find of my Mark Jewelers variants, huh? I gotta start digging those out.
That's your homework assignment.
Yeah, I
I
got a
think I
list.
have a new homework assignment because I like creating these graphics, and I don't know if the chat appreciates it or if they want to see more of this to help move the show along.
A nice
So that we have a touch point to look at. Because a lot of us, we have the books in our collections, and then there's certain rare ones like the ones that you saw here that we don't have everything. No one has every comic in the world like Brody from Mallrats would really like to have. I certainly don't. So there was something else, and I'm going to show this last little graphic here so people, if they wanted to take a look at this to see what signatures look like. We have up here the Stan Lee signature. We have what Alex Schomburg's signature looks like. This is right over here, Art Germ's signature. This is what Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, creators of Superman, look like. Jack Kirby and Joe Simon and Stan Lee and Bill Finger. And I intentionally put Bill Finger larger and over and on top of Bob Kane because, let's face it, Bill Finger created Batman.
Boom.
True.
You gave Kane the finger.
So there was one more thing that Miracleman was talking about earlier before the broadcast. He wanted to show it's a video, and I can cue that up. But before we do that, there was something that Captain wanted me to show y'all. So let me share the screen for that. This is, yeah, I think that's it. All right, I don't know how well you can all see it, but these are some misprints inside. Oh, wow, he's sent a few of these. Oh, damn, he's got it.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Who sent this?
Wow.
This is Captain. Captain sent this to me.
Oh, cool.
And I want that more than like anything else. Let's see what else.
Awesome.
So here's another DC variant he sent.
I know a junk shop that literally has long boxes of that era of DC, the Death of Superman stuff, just stacked up. I mean, we're talking about one or two long boxes of every single print of every single issue. I got to get through there and take a look. What is the lingerie insert?
That is just a lingerie insert that's inside of a comic that he sent.
Why?
I don't know if Captain's still in the chat. If anybody has any contact with him, let him know we're showing his stuff.
The lingerie one strikes me as odd, particularly as they were kids' comics at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe mom and dad was doing it too.
Hold on.
They were probably by yes, Not Near Minutes is a show entitled for people over the age of 18. If you
Yeah, for real.
it might have been a Mark Jewelers, like the Mark Jewelers just might have been near military bases or stuff like that, maybe. I don't know.
That's what my guess is. But
That's
let's
weird.
take a look at some of these here. So this was the variant with the insert of lingerie. It's not really NC-17. I've seen stuff at South Beach that's far more risque.
Oh yeah.
He said it's a diamond insert, not Mark Jewelers.
Yeah,
That's
there's the diamond insert right there. So that's what those look like. And here's a Mark Jewelers with a misprint.
That's still diamond.
That's still diamond, yeah.
Diamond, sorry.
What was the back cover printed on the front?
I think so. That's
Holy crap.
I'm just gonna. Is he in the chat, Captain?
He is.
I'm gonna
He
drop
is.
the link right now, Captain. If you want to come on, feel free. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat right now.
Hey, Air Spider.
Air Spider in the house. What's up,
If
brother?
you're free, feel free to jump on. This is the link to jump on aboard.
We're all free in America.
So as we're going through that, yeah, this is G.I. Joe 33. No cover. I can read it now. No cover, but something back cover. I can't read that. 1973 were diamond. There you go.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier.
1985 would have been G.I. Joe. Or 1990. It was the 80s, yeah, right? Weren't
Yeah,
they?
it was 80.
G.I. Joe was in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Regular-
About the comic book.
And Steven Spock said he sent me something. So, let's see here.
Reflection.
Yeah, there you go. Reflection cover.
Reflection collection.
And we have this here we go. This is a DC questionnaire. So that's what that looked like. And look who we have joining us. I'm gonna pop this out here. We have Captain Comics joining us live. Welcome, Captain.
Howdy, mates.
Hey there, Captain.
It looks like you have some
What's up, Pat?
out there. Do you care to show the audience?
Yeah, sure. I couldn't miss your show for once when you had Whitman's and DC and Mark Jewelers. That's kind of what I like to collect now as a collector. You know, I've collected many different hotkeys and, you know, keys of this, but over the years I got rid of them. So for me, it's more the hunt of finding things that are different.
That I want. I've been looking for that for so long, and it's so hard to find.
Well, I have her sister too, the exact same one.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, wow.
I have
This one they
regular
say was kind of a rare one.
Oh yeah, you don't see those. I think there might be a handful that have seen the light of day.
This I got at a garage sale, believe it or not. And it was bagged and board, so I was just like, you know,
Nice.
got home, put it in a top loader. Now, that's just a couple of them. This is a diamond insert, and they were from 1971 to 73, which was before Mark Jewelers. This is a Hulk 151.
Ah, got it. See, that's really nice and distinct. The star.
Right. But this is the only one I have of the diamond insert. I have a couple other Mark Jeweler ones, but that one I had to do some research and find, and you know, some people think that they're Mark Jewelers, but they might have a diamond insert instead inside of it.
Is it one necessarily more valuable than the other?
I don't know, because most people don't know about the diamond ones. They know, if they know, they know about the Mark Jeweler ones, you know. So the diamond ones are the ones that had your lingerie in it. That's your lingerie.
Oh,
Diamonds
yeah.
and
No
lingerie.
issue
Huh?
with that.
But then you look at it, it almost looks the same as a Mark Jeweler.
Yeah.
Pretty much is, but kind of Cornish.
That was the Hulk.
But right down here, this little diamond, that's where it says diamond.
Yeah.
That's your diamond sales retail. The other ones will say Mark Jewelers up here in the top.
Yeah.
But that's a little fun little thing I've found on them ones.
That's
They're
awesome.
not as much known, I guess, as a Mark Jeweler, and not too many people know about Mark Jewelers anyway.
It wasn't until tonight that I discovered there's a lingerie insert.
Yeah.
How many Mark Jewelers would you say you have?
I have 9 Mark Jewelers and 1 of the Diamond Jeweler ones.
Sweet. What about the DC Universes?
I think I have 65.
Damn!
Oh, wow.
Do you know how many there are total?
I want to say 250. Close to that is what I've pretty much found.
Nice. So you've got like over 20%.
Yeah, definitely.
But the hard part is, like Rob said, some of them are ghosts. Like, nobody's seen one, or there might be one out there. So that's kind of the thrill of the hunt for it that way, too.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, I went on Monday, this store opened for the first time since the COVID thing. And I was digging and digging and digging through 25-cent bins. And that's where I found 4 of these DC Universe books for Rob. Like, yeah. So, I mean, it's like if you take the time to look, you can find it.
Right?
And that's
where
got the time in the world, man.
This one that happened. Basic G.I. Joe right here.
Yeah.
Issue 33. Nothing special about it, But this one is a misprint cover, and it has a Mark Jeweler in it. Now, you saw the original cover, what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah.
So this one, that is your cover. That's where your first page begins.
That's a crazy.
That's crazy.
What the?
And that's the back.
No. Wow.
And there's your Mark Jeweler.
Wow.
Surreal.
So it's a Mark Jeweler and a misprint?
Yep.
Jeez.
Now that is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Probability of that happen.
Just one of them freak things like, oh, I think that has, I was thinking the same thing, somebody ripped the comic book out, or the cover off, but nope, that's the cover right there.
That is crazy.
Wow.
It's a back cover as the front cover. Wow.
So that's what the cover is supposed to look like.
That's insane, dude.
And the
Crazy.
funny part is the back is not even the same back.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's a different periodical on there.
This is the Mark Jeweler.
Yeah.
So let's see. Do you I think Steven Spock is asking, do you have any DC questionnaires?
Questionnaires.
He had one posted on the Instagram.
Oh, did he? I know Steven Spock sent one. An image.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't have any. I never knew they existed until Spock said something.
Yeah, I remember you guys saying something about that earlier.
He said it's just like a white cardboard insert that has questions on it. It looks like.
Yeah.
So
I've never heard of
what
it
a questionnaire is.
Wife's a Poison Ivy fan.
Oh, shit, brother!
Oh, nice.
You got some nuggets. I'm jealous of his nuggets.
Oh, that is just a great cover in general.
Yeah.
That's it.
But this is the one that started it all off for me right there.
Oh,
I had that one in my collection. I came across it and I was like, well, what's this DC universe? So started looking into it and started checking it out. Tried to figure out if I had any more. You know, just had to do my information on it.
how long ago was that?
About 3 years ago.
You've been chasing the high ever since.
And it seems like the past 2 years, it's really like more people are getting into them more. And same thing with the Mark Jewelers. You know, at a time I could go to an auction, pick up like 10 of these for like less than $6 because nobody cared, you know.
I definitely think that in the last year, Comic Tom brought a lot of these things to light too. But I never knew some of these things existed. That's good.
But you see, like this one's a red one.
Yeah.
I got a beige. That's got a different. So I don't know if there's a different thing with the colors, even with them too.
Yeah, sweet.
There's a beige one, not really white, but it's a beige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that adds. See, there's another kind of orange.
I think that's cool. I dig it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a rainbow. Once you start getting a lot of them, you'll see that there's a red, an orange, a beige, a white. You know, I don't know if that makes a difference either on them.
Who knows, man?
There's one. You had the final night.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that aren't easy to come by. But then there was the terminal velocity covers that apparently were very plentiful. And as it started getting on towards 96, that's when.
Yeah, the final night was 96.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice. Nice.
Well played. Yeah.
That was a little tough. Oh, you want me to show them?
Yeah, do it.
Gorgeous.
Oh, I had that one.
That's the one I saw. I was like, oh.
That's badass, dude. Did you find them all in a lot?
No.
You pieced it together?
Yep, one here, one there. Dollar bin there. Rummage sale here. But my wife found me like 4 of them or 5 of them for my birthday, so she got me a couple of them
Nice.
that I never had before.
That's awesome.
Flash. Not really a Flash guy, but you know.
We
Nice.
have a Flash guy that's watching.
DC.
Right?
Until the point, okay, I'm not done talking yet. We'll speak when I'm done.
Very cool.
Is that actually 100?
One.
Whoa, put it back to 100?
Let's see that one. That one's orange compared to. Well, that one's an orange one too.
Yeah.
Busted
And that's
out.
just all red.
Issue 100 is one of those ones that there might only be about 5 that have been found.
So if it came off and sounded, sorry that it sounded.
There's certain ones that, you know, I don't believe that you'll ever find. Or if you do find it, it'll be, you know, somebody's played with it or a kid's ripped the cover on it or drawn on it because they never looked at it as a value, you know. Aquaman.
Cool.
As being a captain, I don't really collect Aquaman. That's kind of weird, but
Yeah. I rock.
this is the only Aquamans I really have. That one I thought was kind of cool, though.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, that's a good run of Aquaman.
So that's some of them. We could just go on and on and on and on, but
Easily.
see, I saw another Mark. Oh, there's a couple Mark Jewelers. That one, most people just pass up every day. Don't think about it much. That's a Mark Jeweler one.
Not
Did not know that.
interesting.
You know, if you look from the top, you can kind of see the blue, but
Yeah.
you know, basically you got to feel it.
Sometimes it's tough. Yeah.
As long as it's a little bit more rigid, and even considering most of them were 70s, early 80s, you should be able to notice a little bit more rigidity in it instead of the
Right.
usual floppy.
But that's the same thing with them diamonds, you know, you're just like, you know, I just recently started getting into that where it was the diamond jeweler parts of it, and I had to find out that they only came out for that 3 years, and that was it. You know, they were pretty much the start. You know how Mark Jewelers gave them out to military people. It's pretty much the same way. They've always gave military people comic books, one way, one shape, one way or another. You know, from pinups to, you know, whatever. So they give certain things out to military people, which, you know, they're over there trashing it, reading it, you know, who knows. Some collect, some don't, but that's what I think is more rare about it, is because they're harder to find. They're, you know, they're just not in your everyday comic book shops. Or, I mean, you can get lucky and find a couple there. I have found a couple at a comic book shop, but, you know, it's more where I'm at a rummage sale or a garage sale or a flea market where I come across something where I'm like, oh, this is a diamond in the rough, because, you know, all right, I'll give you a quarter for 5 comic books or something like that. One of them's $25, you know, mint condition, or, you know, it might be something that somebody's looking for.
Right.
And I even
I have
have
another weird one here. It says DC Universe up in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
zero
one
by
says DC Universe up in the corner and down below.
Interesting.
Nice.
right here. I even have the best way you're going to discover these are in eBay lots, dollar bins, garage sales, estate sales, flea markets, Let Go, and Craigslist. Because if you're buying this from a comic shop and you have it on the wall, you're paying top dollar.
Facebook Marketplace.
Well, my comic book store didn't even know about DC Universe. So I was all right for like maybe 3 months. And then I kind of went to them and said, hey, look, some of these can hit like 100 or beyond. Or if you come across one of these, let me know, you know, because this might be a ghost one or this or that. So he was like, you know, I used to just sell you these for like $1 a piece. I said, I know. That's why I'm telling you, if you come across one, I'll pay, you know, decent price for it. So we always have that laugh about it now, because he had no idea about them. You know, he thought they were just dollar comic books. Nobody wanted them.
I would have not been as charitable.
Yeah.
I might have kept that information to myself.
The old
But
comic shop that I had to get away from, he was of the type that if he sold something that was marked for $1, and then a week later he sees it on Instagram and he was one of your customers, he would say that you stole that book from me. You should have told me. Like, but you had it clearly marked. You sold it to me. I paid you fairly. That's neither here nor there. That's just something that was my experience.
But I have a pretty good relationship with my comic book store. Actually, Tori does better than I do. You know, he'll be there at 9 o'clock and open it up for her, and they don't even open up till 11 o'clock.
Man, today they opened from 12 to 7. That's their like restricted hours or whatever. But today was the first day that they opened, and I went straight for the quarter bins, and they hadn't stopped it. They closed on March the 19th, and all of the stops in the quarter bins, the stickers were $3.20. And I got so many badass Captain Americas and Silver Surfers. I was like, whoa. Anyways. That's neither here nor there.
Nice. Well, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark now, and
I'm tired.
I'm sorry.
I'm tired.
Do you feel like you get treated different at a comic book store than like if a male walked in, lady?
A lot of times, maybe initially, but the people there, they know me, and they know that I know things, right? And so I have a really good relationship. They don't judge me at all. But I mean, I'm sure that there are people that do, and you know what? I don't care. So, it's like there's always going to be a group of people that knows different shit that you do, that knows more shit than you do. I'm fine with admitting that. Like, and people can judge, but that's their thing. That's their problem, not mine.
It's just like the old Cops theme song. There's always someone that's better than you. And
Yeah.
I prefer Bill Nye. Every single person you meet, it doesn't matter who they are, you're going to find that there's everybody that you meet, they know something that you don't. That's everybody. So there's always more to learn.
Yeah. And
But
there's something weird, like something playing in the background, something, I don't know.
oh, there's like a TV. So I was going to ask Miracleman, he at the beginning of the show sent me a video that was a comic book that you can play on a record player, and we're going to close the show out to that. So go ahead, take it away, Miracleman. What are we about to show?
So this is the first part of the recording that was included in Nexus #3 from Capital Comics. They made that Steve Rude art, and I believe Mike Barron was the writer. Yep, Mike Barron. Steve Rude has a Kickstarter right now, by the way, everybody. If you are interested, he has his first sketchbook in 5 years is up on the Kickstarter. And if you're not familiar with Nexus, Nexus is essentially Space Ghost for grown-ups. And first 3 issues were printed in oversized magazine format. In issue #3, they included a flexi disc, which is a removable record where Mike Barron and Steve Rude recorded recorded this entire comic. It's essentially book on tape on a record inserted in your comic book. So here it is. I was able to find the first part. Somebody has on YouTube. I actually gave a copy of this with the insert to my best friend, who is a DJ. And the first thing he did was rip the record out and rip it. So I'm going to get a full, complete rip of this shortly. But I was able to find this one little bit. And, I thought, if you've been a fan of Mike Barron or Steve Rude at any point in time in their comics creating life, you should absolutely hear this. And there's nothing more fitting than this to take us off tonight.
I think that will pretty much cover it. So we're going to play that out. But before we do, let's go around the room and do what we always do. How about we just say, promote yourself? So, Lady Fantastic, is there anything coming up on your YouTube channel, on Instagram, anything?
The fuck is on my hand? I don't know. I don't have anything coming up. I'm just every Wednesday here. I may have a comic auction soon, but I'll make an announcement before I do. And I just want everybody to be safe and be cool and get the best comic deals you can, bitches.
Oh, yeah. And Miracleman, go ahead and promote yourself.
So, I don't have a whole lot to promote, but come on by, see me on Twitter at Komodo1977. I'm still working on that Instagram, man. Listen, I get it. I'm being like really a big boomer about it, and I'm just gonna have to ask my kid.
Yes.
I got an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old. I'm sure they can explain it to me, and I'll get some stuff going on that soon. I am also writing articles for Batman's Bookcase. Come by and check it out, comicsbookcase.com. It's a great site. A lot of amateur contributors and professional contributors on the site, writing all kinds of articles, giving you great ideas, books to read while we're all waiting for the world to start again.
Yeah, we're all waiting for that, and I can't wait until next Wednesday when there's just at least a few books that are coming out.
Yeah.
So, how about we jump on over to Comics on the Mind? Why don't you go ahead and promote yourself?
Well, I actually don't have anything planned this week. You guys can, as usual, catch me in the chats, or I'll always be posting something on my IG, some kind of short video for you guys to laugh at or get some comic book information. But yeah, I don't have it. I'm not appearing on anybody else's channel, not that I know of. But if someone drops a chat, I mean the link thing, I might hop in there.
And here we have Dudes Talking Comics at midnight hour, 5 a.m. What's up, everyone? Well, you just got here, and we're almost over, but there's one more person because he joined us at the very end to show some awesome, rare covers. And considering this is what the entire episode was about, I don't think there's anybody more that I want to hear more from at the very end of the show. Then, how about Cap it?
Well, thank you guys. I've been a big fan of all you guys. Make sure you sub all these guys for sure because they always have good content coming out. I feel honored to be on the show. I've been watching it for several times, and you know, when you guys did this show today, I was like, man, I gotta tell you what I got, or at least show you, you know, some different things that I got. You know, so I felt pretty honored to be on this show with you guys. I mean, I love DC. I love Marvel, or I mean, Mark Jewelers, Diamond Jewelers. I hope somebody learned some different things about that. Whitman's. I only have one Batman Whitman, and I can't figure out where it's at right now, but I'm sure the wife organized it somewhere, and I can't find it. We have that problem where she hides comic books from me.
That's normal now, especially considering she's a collector too.
Right. But we collect different ways.
You said something earlier about how to discover one of those inserts. This will be the tip of the week. How do you discover that?
You look at the top of it, and if you see a blue line that goes all the way across the top.
And that is your tip of the week. And lastly, my name is Rob Worst. I thank you so much for joining us week in, week out. This is the 39th episode. We're going to talk behind the scenes about what we're going to do for episode 40 coming out next week, because next week, wow, it feels like it's been forever since May 11th when everything broke down and the NBA closed down. But holy crap, next week, 2 days after my birthday, I get for my birthday what I always wanted. No, not a Hulk 181 or a Fantastic 448, which would be cool. I'm glad that you coming back out. So next week, we're going to try and go big or go home. So thank you to each and every one of you that watches us, our replay viewers, people that show up live, because we do this show every single week on Wednesdays. So thank you very much for joining us. And just like what Miracleman is showing right here, we're going to close out by showing you what plays when you buy this comic book. So thank you very much, everybody, and good night. Here is your moment of Zen.
Marlis went into labor almost at once. My father found an autodot, sophisticated diagnostic equipment designed for humans. I was premature. The autodot instructed my father to put me in the hourglass-shaped head, where I fell. By all accounts, I was perfectly healthy. I remember Marlis being high and beautiful. Those were happy times, but so short and long ago. I had playmates, Elf and Bacon. I told Mom and Dad about them, but they didn't believe me. When I was 5, Marlis wandered into one of the endless corridors. We searched for him, week after week. Now we only had each other. Even Elf and Bacon had disappeared. 3 months later, my father found Marlis in a faraway section on one of the lower levels. She'd gotten lost in the slide. Shortly after that, Elf and Beta came back.
Where were you? We needed you. Gosh, Horatio, we didn't know. We're sorry, Horatio. Yeah, really. We would have helped. If only we know.
My father was a broken man. Hour after hour, he would sit and stare into space through the surface monitors. I was 9 when I had my first attack. My father barely got me hooked up to the autobot in time.
Patient Horatio, subject to vital enzyme AQN to the 10x to 12.4, deficiency affecting central nervous system.
Exterminate.
So I had to sleep in the tank
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We love you.